I'm a man. I'm 40.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Welcome, everybody, to the next, latest and greatest edition of the Are We Recording podcast. And I'm so surprised today. I'm back with the original crew, the OG5. Ain't no guest up in here. This is the original. Brian, as usual, your host. Joshua, how you doing? 75 and chilly down there.
75 and chilly. I'm doing great. Give a shout out to the Bobcats who just beat the Nets today. Chris Douglas Roberts coming in clutch, and Al Jefferson putting up 35 and 15.
Dude, how did Paul Pierce miss that layup?
I know. I don't know. That was awesome, though. That was awesome. And also, too, shout out to that Pacers Heat game. That was an awesome game. That was intense. I love the feud between Wade and Lance. That was an awesome game.
Bradley?
What's up?
You haven't been here for a while. Where have you been?
You hear that? It's the Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, I've been busy with midterms.
All night long. Return. Sorry, my bad.
All right, I've been busy with midterms, spring break, but I'm back now. I'm back on the podcast ready to talk some sports, all sorts of sports.
You miss us?
I have missed you guys. I've been keeping up with the blog though, AWR podcast. What is it?
No.
Blog. I don't know, dude.
Close.
He plugged the blog, doesn't know the URL.
No, it comes up. It's on his favorites list. It's on his where it should be forever.
It's just bookmarked. It's my homepage, so I don't have to worry about it.
All right, that's fair. Rye guy. I guess no more hashtag Nebraska for everyone.
Drink.
I'm sorry. Yeah, drink. Hey, everybody drink for one last time.
Get your drinks ready one last time.
Take a drink.
We're done. We're done after this. We have an assistant coach job hunting search coming up here soon. So
dude, that's like the most irrelevant thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Nebraska assistant coach job hunt.
Yeah, it's happening. It's real right now. So we'll shelve the Nebraska ball talk after tonight. We'll move on to the second most important sport in the state, and that's the disappointment that is Nebraska football forever and always.
Yeah, everybody go buy a 40, take a sip, pour the rest out. Nebraska ball has fallen. One last drink.
The dream is over.
The OG. Let's get out of this depressing nonsense. The OG, the realest Chris around.
I'm going to pull a Josh on this one and give a shout-out to the Edmonton Oilers fan that threw his jersey on the ice because the Edmonton Oilers are so bad. They lost 8-1 to their rivals, the Calgary Flames, and this guy just threw his jersey at the goalie at some point during the 8-1 loss.
If he would have lit it on fire and then threw it, that would have been...
What he should have done is laced up his skates and taken the rink and with that jersey, not throwing it on the ice.
If he could play defense, he would probably be better than anybody on Edmonton.
I got 2 records. Most penalty minutes, and I'm the only guy in league history take his stain off and try to stab somebody with it.
Okay, Happy Gilbert.
It's an American classic.
Yes.
Oh man.
I knew exactly where you were going with that, like from the second you started, too.
I digress. Should we talk about this tournament, or should we do Happy Gilmore quotes some more?
More Gilmore quotes.
Okay. Damn alligator, bit my hand off!
Are there any Nebraska-related Happy Gilmore quotes?
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
Well, yeah, this tournament's pretty great. Been some good games.
Yeah, no, there has been some good games. Kentucky Wichita State was great. It was like the most like that you could get so much story out of like just the matchup alone, and then it had to like be that game. like the Harrison twins redeeming themselves for a season worth of terribleness.
Are they going to go pro now?
Well, we still got a game to play.
Well, how are they going to go pro?
I wouldn't advise them going pro right now, but maybe after the season.
I mean, dude, what's the point of staying though? I mean,
well, have they done the Andrew Wiggins thing and said like this is going to be their only season?
I wouldn't. I think it's a bad idea to, even if everyone on the planet Earth knows that you're one and done, you don't mess with it until your actual season's over. So if they come out and say it, it's bad.
Yeah,
bad idea, I think.
Yeah, definitely a bad idea.
Well,
now,
I mean, Andrew Wiggins, has multiple times this season came out and say I'm not coming back next year. So
yeah,
which I mean, if you're gonna do it at the beginning of the year, I guess I don't care because then you just put the speculation to bed. But yeah, you're not gonna do it now.
No way. But it's just kind of funny, just the one and dones against the ultimate team, whatever nonsense. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the one and dones have to go in. Of course, Kentucky won that game.
Well, I was going to say, was anyone disappointed that Kentucky won? I honestly was. I wanted to see Wichita State advance in the tournament. I wanted to see him play Louisville.
Yeah,
I wanted to see him play Louisville. And plus, the Calipari factor. I don't like to see Calipari winning anything. So.
Well, go ahead, Bragg. No,
okay.
you go. Ladies first.
Talk.
Ladies first.
I mean, yeah, Calipari is a douchebag, through and through. That's common fact. But I think Kentucky is a much more talented team now that they've started to figure out how to actually play basketball together. They're a more fun team to watch than Wichita State. When you consider, I like watching Julius Randle. Dude's a bully in the paint. Wichita State was fun though. Ron Baker banking threes all day that game. Clay Anthony Early is a fun player to watch, but I kind of got sick of the whole undefeated regular season when they didn't really play any. Undefeated's undefeated, but they didn't really play any great teams until, I would say, Kentucky, and it doesn't discredit how good of a team they are because they lost to Kentucky. I still think they're a fantastic team. Kentucky's just firing all cylinders right now. So it was a great game. I really didn't care who won either way.
I agree. I think that was a good game, too. I personally think that was probably one of my favorite games of the tournament. Just back and forth threes. I also, just selfish plug here, all you haters hating on Kentucky, and that Kentucky and Iowa State were my two teams to make it far in the tourney. People weren't expecting Iowa State more so, but shout out to all the haters out there hating on Kentucky, messing up late in the season. They came around. As Brad said, I think they were just a more talented team, and it just came through.
Well, I had Kentucky winning this game as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah,
It was Wichita State got a rough draw.
Yeah, for sure.
Kentucky Louisville was literally bound. It's too storybook to not happen.
Well, it's like you guys said with Wichita State. It was either going to be they lose to a perennial powerhouse like Kentucky or whoever, or they overcome all these classical great teams, and somehow find their way out of their region and make the Final Four, Elite Eight, or something like that. So either way, they had a story they could write with it.
Yeah, exactly. They did their job.
I want to call back to a little thing what Brad said. Does this loss to Kentucky diminish what Wichita State did in the regular season, or do you still hold what they did in high esteem?
Was that for me or for everybody?
Just for everyone.
That's a tough
well, I kind of hit on it already. I think it doesn't really discredit what they did, but it is interesting. The first real great team they played, they ended up losing, but it wasn't like they got embarrassed or exposed. It was just a fantastic game with Kentucky coming out on top at the end.
It's hard for me to say because I still don't know how good they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of that is, do we really even know how good Kentucky is at this point, or?
It's hard to say how good a lot of these teams. Florida's good, Arizona's good, Wisconsin's okay. Michigan State, yeah. But I'm talking about the teams that are left. Michigan State, who knows how good they really are. Louisville's kind of the same way. You kind of know how good they are, but it's a question of why did they have so many weird losses then if they're as good as they should be? So I don't know. It's like it's tough. You don't. There's a lot of teams left that you really don't know like how good they are, and that goes back to Wichita State. I mean, they're like the perfect example of that. I still don't know how good they are.
I can get on board. I still think for this, I mean, I don't think this loss takes anything away from the season they had. I don't care if you're playing the lowest of the low teams in college basketball. It's still hard to go in and night out and win every game. And then they went out and swept their conference tournament. I mean, I think it's still something that should be looked upon as a tremendous season and a tremendous run. Unfortunately, in the tournament, it's, everyone loses except for the champion, so you leave the season with a sour taste in your mouth. But I think that it was a fun season for them, and I think they should all look back on it with positivity, because I still think you don't see that very often. We may not see that for a long time.
Yeah, I mean it would have been cool, I guess, but honestly, I'm glad that Kentucky won. As much as it's weird saying I want Kentucky to win, because I'm with you, Ryan, is I want John Calipari to lose at everything in life. I mean, I don't want him to be like, I don't want his life to go in shambles. That's just mean. But I don't want him to succeed as a basketball coach. If that makes sense. He's such a dude. I mean, he's the LeBron of like, just like, he's the worst.
It's the one and done. It's the scandals.
Dude, I mean,
I guess there's no scandal, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, people don't like how it's an us against the world thing. I mean, he encapsulates it perfectly if that's what he's going for.
Well, like the thing is I never liked him. I didn't even like him when he was at Memphis, and like it was weird when Rose went and played for him because it was such like a conflict of interest for me. But then this year when he started complaining about how scrutinized his team was. Dude,
yeah,
that is the word. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard a person like him say. Like, dude, you bring it on yourself.
You have 75 lottery picks on your team,
dude, and you called it the greatest recruiting class ever, and we're preseason number 1. You expect them to just go easy on you because you're underachieving? Like, dude, shut the front door, bro.
That's like Nick Saban, like when he's dominating college football, and then he got like it's like, oh, everybody doubts us, everybody hates us, and that type of thing. It's like you have to like be dominant and only get praise from everybody, or else you're not happy. Is that what your life is?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of stupid. It's annoying. It's really, really annoying is what it is. Let's move on. Scariest team left. If you were coaching a team, let's hypothetical. We're all coaching a team. X team, doesn't matter what team.
We should get a team, by the way.
I agree. We should probably put one together. We'll talk about that.
Now that they don't have a coach anymore.
That's true. Okay, so you're a hypothetical coach of a team. Who's the last team that you would want to play right now? Who's the scariest team left? No, just in any team in general. Who do you think is playing the best? Like, who would you least want to play right now?
I don't know.
At this moment.
I don't know about being the best, but I know that.
I'm not saying the best. I'm saying who would you least want to play.
No, I'm not. They're not necessarily playing the best, but I think it's a little under the radar pick maybe for who's left in the field. But I think the team that any coach right now would want to play the least is Baylor, just because of the matchup problems that they create with all their height. They look what they did to Creighton. I mean, and if they're shooting lights out like they did, you can't beat them with that.
So look what they did to Nebraska.
Yeah, look what they did to Nebraska. They
drank.
They flustered them. I mean,
dude, I poured my 40 out. I have nothing left.
I think that Baylor is a team that creates problems for nearly everyone they play. So,
I mean, obviously I'm a little biased here, but I think Florida's best team. I think they're going to be the scariest team for anyone to play. But besides them, I think Arizona's playing really well as of late. They've been rolling through a good bit, and I think they move on. But if they end up facing Wisconsin, that should be a good game. I still think they win. But and then also too, I don't think they're going to make it past the next round. But Tennessee, I love that team. McCray.
You've been hollering about this team for a little while.
They got some good guys that can ball, and I don't know if they get past this next round, but I like what they've been doing.
I don't know how many people, not to interject, but I don't know how many people saw this, but Ken Pomeroy or Ken Palm posted a little article on Deadspin about how he picked Tennessee to be one of the best teams in the field as an 11 seed just because of the way they play and whatever. But he is really high on them, and I kind of was too. I thought that they would make some noise in the tournament, and obviously they got after Iowa they got. Who they play in the second round is in UMass. They got an underachieving UMass team, and then they got Mercer, who was not going to come and play the same kind of game they played against Duke. So
yeah, right, dude. Yeah, what are you talking about, you idiot? You don't watch college football or college basketball?
They've had an easier path to the Sweet 16 than they thought they probably would, but I still think Tennessee is scary as well.
They got lucky.
I think the scariest team is Michigan State. Just to hit on Arizona real quick, I'm still not a huge believer in them as a real championship contender. I don't know what it is. They have, Aaron Gordon's good. What's his name? Their other really good player is good. Can't think of his name right now.
Nick Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Johnson is a boss.
Yeah, he's good. He's someone that can take over the game more so than Gordon. But Michigan State, they were banged up all year. You saw Adrian Major Payne just dominate.
Deliver the pain.
Yeah. I was trying to go somewhere with that, didn't he dominated the first,
bad jokes.
Yeah, he delivered the pain.
Dominated the first round, 40 points, and they got past. Man, I'm drawing a blank on everything right now, but they're just a fantastic team. I think Tom Izzo is maybe the best coach. Him or Billy Donovan. I think that has to play a role when you look at scariest team left because they got all that experience, and I just would want to go up against them. They got Appling and Harris. Harris should be a lottery pick, and they've got a ton of depth and experience. With Payne and those guys. Dawson's good too. So they're my champion. So I still think they're the scariest team.
Chris, who do you got?
Well, I was going to have Arizona, and then somebody took my pick, but I'll actually say San Diego State, if they're playing like they did last weekend, they could easily upset Arizona this weekend if they get however many points again out of their big scorer, which now I can't remember his name.
Who on San Diego State?
Yes, Thames.
What the hell is that dude? Yeah. No, that was North Dakota State.
No, Xavier Thames is San Diego State's scorer.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Went for, what did he go for against North Dakota State? 30?
He snapped, though. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had 23 against New Mexico State, too, so he is not on a Doug McDermott hot streak, but he is definitely quite warm in the NCAA tournament so far.
Quite warm. He's lukewarm is what he is.
Unlike the guy that ran before the so-called a thug, or something to that effect.
Which one? Who's the thug?
The guy in the sleeves.
Oh, that idiot?
Yes. Idiot, that's what we called him.
That little Jiminy Cricket.
The guy who always wears sleeves because he's somehow
cold or whatever.
Not get warm playing basketball, which I cannot understand at all.
He's an idiot. That whole Oregon team was a bunch of idiots. I was so mad about that game. I guess scariest team. So. Yeah, well, whatever. It turned out okay for me, but still. Scariest team, honestly, I don't. Man, this Florida team is looking good, and they got lucky on their side of the bracket too. Not that lucky, but the fact that they don't have to play Syracuse or Kansas to get to the Final Four is kind of a nice little draw for them.
Oh yeah, the road if they get past UCLA, their road is just paved.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing is, dude, they might be the best. They haven't even gotten it hasn't even been a thing. They've been just strolling on by.
I'll give them credit. I kind of was a little doubtful on Florida coming into the tournament, but I think their first two games they really showed me that they have the ability to make the run. Because if you remember on the little preview I said I wasn't sure if they were able to, because they haven't lost in like 3 months, if they were able to keep putting it all together. Because, in a game, it's tough in the tournament when you're playing every other day on a weekend, to string those together, you get tripped up pretty easy. So, but I think with the wins over Albany and Pitt, that they showed me that, they real contender. I didn't want to pick Florida because I thought a lot of people would, so I went with Baylor. But I agree with you that Florida is very, very dangerous at this point.
It's funny, Josh. You mentioned like how bad Albany's uniforms were. I think when we did the conference tournament one, dude, those really. I mean, you weren't kidding, man. Those were some of the worst uniforms I've ever seen in my life. Mount
St. Mary should have won.
Dude. Those were bad. Dude, do they even feel cool wearing those? Like, dude, there's no possible way that they like look in the mirror and it's like, man, I mean, I look cool as fuck right now, man. Like, there's no way that
it's hard to think that a team that with the color scheme, purple and gold, didn't go with like some kind of Laker ripoff. They went with that instead.
They went with the worst jersey of all time instead.
Like the template is there with that color scheme. Just use a nice look and go with it.
And they're sponsored by Jordan, aren't they?
Was it Jordan?
I'm pretty sure they have Nike Jordan stuff.
Yikes.
It looks like they should have been sponsored by like Fubu or something.
Dude, or what were those shoes? Dadas. You guys remember?
Dadas.
With the rims, with the spinning rims.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I look like some steel shit.
There was the one on my middle school basketball team. Dude, it was like one of the only black kids in the school, and he had Dadas with spinning rims, dude. Oh, he was the only one that didn't wear the team shoe. He was the coolest, dude.
Didn't Sprewell, wasn't he like sponsored by them or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. Dadas, dude. They were in the East Bay catalog that you could get for free that I always had. Like, would just carry it from class to class. Dude, look at all this sports stuff I'll never get. Yeah, no way, dude. That was like the Bible. New East Bay, bro, check out these skateboarding shoes. Dude, I want to get those. Nah, man, I want these. And nobody ever got anything. Ever.
True.
Did anybody ever get... Well, whatever. We're getting super off topic right now. Anyone have any thing left before we go into some previews here for some games?
Let's preview it up.
No one wants to talk about the weekend before, like what their teams did.
I mean,
everyone here had a team. I mean,
but only two of us have teams left.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Nebraska ball,
so we don't need to.
We did not talk about Nebraska ball.
We don't need to talk about them anymore. We already put him to rest, man. Saracen buried his dad. It's done, man. It's done.
We'll let Gorman until November. Then we're coming for you again.
No,
we're coming for you again.
Dude, that's a powerhouse scene, man. That's one of the best acting scenes I've ever seen in my life. You know where he's from, though, too, right?
Where, Chicago?
Yum. All right, Wisconsin Baylor. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous.
Don't be.
I don't see. That's the thing, is it's like weird. Like I'm nervous because it's the unknown. Because I've hated this Baylor team. I hate this coach, and so I like refuse to watch them. So I haven't really seen much Baylor this year.
Would you rather played Creighton just because you know what you're getting out of Creighton?
Almost. I'd almost feel better going into it. But just the unknown scares me because it's like it was the same thing with Oregon, dude. I've watched like 2 minutes of Oregon basketball this year prior to this.
It kind of looked like Wisconsin had watched about 2 minutes of Oregon basketball this year too.
Seriously, dude. No, seriously. And so that was the same thing as I ended up just hating everyone. I hated them all. Plus, they were acted like a bunch of assholes and thugs and little idiot with his long sleeves, and then the one dude wouldn't miss a shot if you paid him. I mean, maybe if you paid him, he'd miss, but that's about the only thing you could have done. So I don't know.
For Baylor, just to give you kind of a little preview, because I saw.
I mean, he goes to Oregon, so I'm sure he was getting paid.
Yeah, he probably was.
Probably.
For a little Baylor preview, just because I saw him against us, obviously, and then against Creighton. Really, the key against Baylor is they're going to try and get you out of what you want to do, and what you really need to do is keep driving the lane against them because they want you to settle for that outside shot, and if it doesn't fall, because it wasn't falling for Nebraska and it wasn't falling for Creighton, they'll get up on you by double digits, and then at that point, put it to bed. I mean, so I think the key for Wisconsin is keeping it inside.
All of those things you described are things that Wisconsin excels at. So if that's the case, then I'm feeling confident. That's great.
I
Thank
think
you for that.
Wisconsin is definitely the better matchup of Nebraska or Creighton. They'll have the biggest test for them. I think Wisconsin wins the game. Baylor's offense is not great. They got to the line a ton against Nebraska, obviously, and then against Creighton, I'm not sure how they did at the line, but against Nebraska, they had 48 foul shots. I mean, that's the game right there. It was decided at the line.
Nebraska was just, man. I know.
Nebraska only got 18.
You're trying to slip them in, dude. They were nervous, dude. They didn't know what was coming.
I totally agree with you. Nebraska was nervous. They fouled way too much. The officiating was bad, but Nebraska still fouled way too much. And they looked like a team that was playing their first NCAA tournament game because they were, but they were all sophomores.
I just love that this went from Baylor, Wisconsin preview.
It's Baylor.
To the Nebraska ball recap.
My team played Baylor.
Dude,
you brought in Nebraska into the equation. I did not.
You're right. I guess we'll blame this one on me. Ryan, go ahead. Who did you have to preview? And no, Nebraska's not playing. It's final. Saracen Bears dead. It's done. It's over
I
with.
I can preview some Nebraska spring games.
No.
Okay.
What game are you most looking forward to that is actually being played? Go.
Okay. I'm most looking forward to, I guess I'll talk about Tennessee, Michigan, over Kentucky, Louisville, because I think this is really intriguing. Michigan, probably the favorite in this game. I think they're favored by 2.5 points. But Tennessee, I mean, I just really like this Tennessee team as an 11 seed. They had to play in the SEC, which diminished them. I think if they played in a different conference, which, I mean, you could say that a lot of teams, they would have been a higher seed. They probably wouldn't have played the play-in game. But I think if they get hot, which they seem to be hot right now, they could outshoot Florida. Anyone else agree with me on that? I mean, Michigan.
It's
outside of Stauskas, who's going to score?
G-Rob. G-Rob
is spotty.
Levert,
so spotty.
Urban.
Karis LeVert is about after Stauskas. I agree with that, but Glenn Robinson III is so consistent.
Who's the little wiener head that hit all those threes? Yeah.
Spike don't play with girls.
That is the definition of a little wiener. He's like
Michigan. Trey Burke had to save Michigan against KU last year. I could totally see a situation where Tennessee upsets Michigan and
so
moves
who do you
on.
got? Who's your pick? Make a pick right now.
My pick for this
on the
one,
line.
I'll take Michigan by a bucket.
So you're going with Vegas?
I'll go with the Wolverines here and Vegas. But Tennessee keeps it much closer than everyone thinks.
Joshua?
Yeah.
Does UCLA have a chance?
They do have a chance. I think anyone in this tournament does right now.
Be honest.
No, I mean, they do have a chance, for real. This is a quick touch on Ryan's. Tennessee's played Florida 3 times this year, so they have been tested, and that's why I do kind of like them because of what I've seen. Anyway, Florida UCLA.
Look at this guy bringing Florida basketball into everything.
His topic is on Florida. Jesus Christ.
All right, Florida UCLA. I think Florida obviously has to stop Kyle Anderson. The dude's, I mean, he'd probably be a triple-double in the NBA. They got to stop him. They got to get their offense going early. I just don't think UCLA's defense is going to be enough to stop Florida, and hopefully it'll be smooth sailing after that. So I get Florida by about 8 to 12 winning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Big win. I could
Higher
see
or low?
it.
Oh, big win? Okay, I didn't know if you guys were thinking.
That's a medium-sized victory.
I didn't know what you were expecting.
dude. I mean, I don't think.
I think it'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8 points.
Shit, I hope they win by 20.
Brad,
who wouldn't?
I got the
What's
Iowa
your
State.
game?
I got the Iowa State UConn game. I'm from Iowa. I'm a Hawkeyes fan, so naturally I'm not super inclined to pick the Cyclones. But I mean, it's hard to deny what they've been doing. Niang goes out. They have a fantastic game on Sunday. DeAndre Kane came up huge.
DeAndre Kane's a boss.
That whole team's on. They're a very fun team to watch. Fred Hoiberg's great. I can't hate him even as a Hawkeye.
If their name wasn't Iowa State,
even as a
super likable.
guy?
Yeah, even as a fellow hot guy. Anyway, UConn. I mean, Shabazz Napier's just been doing Kemba type things. Honestly, I mean, he's pretty much carried this team to this point. But I'm still. I mean, UConn seems like they're not. I'm not. I think Iowa State's going to win this game big. I think Iowa State's going to win by double digits. I think they'll key on Napier, and it's as dumb as it sounds to say when Iowa State's hitting their threes, they're tough to beat. I mean, yeah, clearly
that's like the most overused expression in basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are when they get hot.
When they're hot, they're hot.
Yeah, and they're an underrated defensive team. I mean, it was high scoring against UNC, but they can play defense a little bit better than people give them credit for.
Dude, watching the DeAndre Shabazz duel is going to be great. Dude, the last 10 minutes of that game is going to be awesome.
Then you got Naz Long, who just hits all the clutch shots for him.
Dude.
Making it Nazzy. So.
Nailed it.
Yeah, of course.
Who's winning? You said Iowa State big?
Iowa State by 10, maybe 10, give or take 2 points. 8 to 12 point margin of victory.
Oh, big wins. All right. Christopher, the OG, the realest of the reals.
I am previewing Michigan State and Virginia, which I think has the potential to be an extremely intriguing matchup. Michigan State is obviously playing better than they were in the middle of the season when they lost half their team in about every other game as a result. And Virginia went on a run through their conference tournament. They, of course, won the ACC this year as well. The one common opponent they played is North Carolina, which both of them were pretty much in the beginning of the season, so you can pretty much discount that. Virginia did beat North Carolina, and Michigan State lost to them, but I think at this point Michigan State might have a little bit of an edge just because they are better offensively than Virginia, and I think their defense is probably good enough to deal with Virginia's offense unless Virginia's offense just puts them to sleep, which Virginia can do that to anybody with the best of them.
Is Virginia the most underappreciated number 1 seed of all time?
I don't know about all time, but I will agree that Virginia stepped up in the tournament.
Nobody gives them any credit. Nobody.
Because I think whoever got that 4th 1 seed was going to get no credit because that was such a toss-up.
I don't know. If Michigan got it, they would get credit.
Their game against Memphis was just so low-key, too. And in a good way for Virginia. It was never in question.
No. I mean, it was 12-10 Memphis, and then it was just, from there, it was just game over.
And then it was just pretty much they just strangled them is pretty much what happened.
I think it's funny that this Virginia team gets no credit for doing anything. And if Villanova was that 1 seed, I'm going through the 2 seeds right now, and I'm going to see, okay, if Kansas would get tons of credit. Villanova and Wisconsin both, if they were the 1 seeds, they would either be A, the 1 seed that everybody thought was going to lose first, or B, the 1 seed that everybody picked to look smart. And then Michigan would have been, they would get tons of credit. But dude, Virginia gets no credit for doing nothing. I don't know what that means, but I'm just gonna. Should we move on to who you got?
I was gonna say, do you want me to actually predict the game or not?
Yeah, who do you got?
I think I've kind of bounced back and forth on the site. Have Michigan State winning in my bracket, so I'll probably stay with that. But I think it'll probably be fairly low scoring, and unlike the games that have been predicted already, I think maybe Virginia misses a shot at the buzzer that either would have tied it or gone to overtime. So Michigan State just wins by like less than a bucket, even.
First to 50 wins.
Maybe 55.
Yeah. All right. So we got who you got. I'm gonna go through it real quick. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick tournament games, and then once we finish the tournament, we're gonna count up the records, and we're gonna start. We're gonna start over. We're gonna clean it. We're gonna clean slate. We're gonna give the award to the first annual Who You Got champion. Probably gonna be me. Spoiler alert. So let's go through these games. We're gonna start with the one that nobody really cares about. Dayton, Stanford. Nobody cares really. I mean, this is going to get the lowest ratings of any of the games. But we're obviously going to pick it because of that.
It's on at like a really bad time, too.
Isn't it?
Who you got, Fog?
Who do I have? I think I'm going to go with Stanford just because I know more about Stanford than Dayton.
All right.
Good of a reason as any.
I got Stanford.
Stanford, okay. I'm taking Dayton. I think they continue it at... It's a toss-up pretty much, but give me Dayton continue rolling on with their offense.
I'm with Josh. Dayton. The Flyers are flying high.
I knew I should have picked the Nerds in the first round when we were doing our little preview. I should have stepped up on that one. But on this one, I'm confident I'm taking Dayton.
All right.
All right.
UCLA versus Florida. No, that wasn't anything.
Florida.
Yeah, UCLA versus Florida. I'm going to say that in English now. I'm going to go Florida. Does anyone have the upset?
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Give it to me.
You want it?
Give me the upset. I hate
Wow.
I hate Auburn, but give me the upset.
There it is.
Give me the offense over the defense, even though defense wins championships. Give me Kyle Anderson, Jordan Adams. Give it to me.
You got it, kiddo. Anybody else?
We are the boys of old Florida. I got Gator bait moving on.
Oh boy, Ryan.
I think UCLA makes it close, and definitely with how the bracket's broken down, it'll probably be their toughest test before the Final Four, but that being said, it will be their toughest test before they get to the Final Four.
Because they are getting to the Final Four.
Yeah, because they're getting there.
I see what you're doing there. Hey, you tricky. All right. Badgers versus Baylor.
Give me the Badgers. Badgers win.
Badgers-Bears may be a mismatch in nature, but on the basketball court, I got Wisconsin.
I am going to go with nature because you can't argue with nature. So give me the Bears. I don't know how we're supposed to follow that up.
Oh, God. Chris, who do you have?
I think Wisconsin's going to go inside enough to has the Bears to kind of invalidate.
Guys, we're falling apart.
Not invalidate, but kind of break down the Baylor zone if Baylor decides to zone them, and I think Wisconsin's going to win.
Yeah, I'm taking Wisconsin too.
That's a surprise.
Shocker.
Well, I don't care what any of you guys say. That's
Shocker. That's a shocker. Said the biggest homer ever.
I'm the biggest.
No,
I am. UConn versus Iowa State. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to go with Iowa State. I love DeAndre Kane. He can come hang out with me anytime that he wants to. And we can play Xbox or whatever. Iowa State.
Cyclones by the slimmest of margins.
Did you call them the Cyclones?
Yes.
That's great. You're killing it tonight, Ryan.
I know.
You must have been saving
Ryan's
it up.
Great jokes.
Yeah, Ryan's something.
See, once he's not distracted,
He sure is
produces.
something. Give me Iowa State, like I said, by like 8 to 12 points, something like that.
I'm taking Iowa State too. I don't think Shabazz can do enough to keep.
No. This is so sad.
I agree.
I wish he didn't.
UConn could move on.
Me too.
They should do a thing where like they should replace another team with UConn so that UConn can stay alive.
They should just have UConn have to play, just keep playing games, even if they lose. They can play. Like they can just keep playing. Shabazz Napier's that cool.
Send them to the NIT and replace them with someone in the NIT.
Have a consolation game with whoever loses the Kentucky Louisville game.
Exactly. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would watch the shit out of that. Chris, do you have Iowa State as well?
I have Iowa State as well. I would feel more confident if Niang hadn't gotten hurt in their first game, but I think they still pull it out and probably closer than it should be, just because that seems like what UConn likes to do, is make things close when they maybe shouldn't be.
Okay. The headliner of the weekend, the one that was born, it was destined to happen as soon as the brackets came out. Anyone who said otherwise was fooling themselves. Kentucky at Louisville. Calipari versus Pitino. I mean, does anybody have... okay. Go ahead. This is tough. This is a hard one.
Yeah, this is the toughest pick of the weekend for me. Like we talked about earlier with Kentucky, I still don't think we really know what they are. I mean, give me Louisville. Give me the coaching. Give me Pitino over Calipari. Give me experience over 17 lottery picks who are playing together for the first year. I mean, they got a year in the books, but give me Louisville.
I'm taking the Ville as well. I like them as a team over Kentucky. I think Kentucky, even though they're kind of coming together here now in the tournament, I think they still play a little too much 5-on, or they still play a little more like 5 than they do as 1. If you know what I'm trying to say, I can't really vocalize that thought right now.
5 individuals.
So I got Louisville. Yes, 5 individuals as instead of 1 team. Thank you, Brad, for the save.
Got you.
Big Josh.
I'm taking Louisville. I think they beat them this time around, second time around. Kentucky's a good team. I like them, but I don't see them being a better team than Louisville. Also, too, I'm disappointed we didn't pick Virginia, Michigan State. Virginia's not getting any love, and they're going to beat Michigan State.
It just goes with what I was talking about.
I like Virginia.
It kind of does.
Too many Virginia haters. That's all I'm going to say. I like them.
Michigan State wins that game.
Dude, that game I have zero idea. I'm not even going to guess that game. That's why we didn't pick it. Save my ass from embarrassment.
Give me the Cardinals.
Okay, Chris?
I think Josh kind of alluded to this. Kentucky did beat Louisville by 7 at Kentucky early in the season. Russ Smith had kind of a rough game, and I think if Kentucky wants to beat him again, they're going to have to make Russ Smith shoot that many times and miss that many times again. And they also got a huge game combined out of the Harrison twins, which they are playing better now, but I don't know, kind of like the Andrew Wiggins have to put it together for 2 games in a row. Not sure that they're going to be capable of doing that, and I will say Louisville wins.
Here's my thing about Louisville this year. Okay, so every year, and this happens in every single sport. It happens in every sport, basketball, football, baseball, anything. If you're the defending champs going into like the playoffs, it's always it's so hard to repeat. There's no way they do it. It's so hard to repeat, blah blah blah. Okay, that's right. Am I right? That's always said about the defending champs.
Yeah.
Every time. It's almost without fail. Okay, so how come this Louisville team gets to use we're the defending champs as like a positive? Like
because
this I don't understand that. Can somebody explain that to me?
Because in college basketball,
experience. They lack that
so
year-to-year cohesiveness with so many players going to the NBA.
Exactly. That Louisville has is they've done it.
And it's so rare to have that many people back too. It seems like.
Okay, trying to think of an example. That Duke team, how many guys did they lose? Did they lose a lot of guys? They lost a couple. They didn't lose a ton.
You mean from 2010 to 2011?
The team that just won it, the most recent one.
When they beat Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't they add a bunch of players too?
Well, but I don't like.
Wasn't that the year Austin Rivers?
Yeah. No, that wasn't Austin
That
Rivers.
puts you right there.
No. That wasn't Austin Rivers.
That wasn't? I thought it was
That was
2011.
no. Austin Rivers didn't win it. Austin Rivers lost the week.
No, Austin Rivers was the team after.
Oh, that was 2012?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is I get what you guys are saying with the experience.
I get it.
I haven't heard one person say, but it's so hard to repeat. Like, why isn't that a thing?
I don't know if Louisville's considered a legitimate contender. That's probably why.
Yeah. Oh, no way. Louisville and Michigan State were like the two biggest ones.
But coming out of the Midwest bracket, no one thought,
I don't know. I saw tons of Louisville in the Final Four.
Maybe
tons of it.
because they got the 4 seed. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I
It's weird how much. If they got a 2 seed or a 1 seed, there's no way people wouldn't be saying it's so hard to repeat that slip up.
Maybe. Well, that's what I don't think they're getting. I don't think they're getting the benefit of the doubt as defending champions. Ergo, there's no. It's so hard to repeat conversation with them.
Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's a good way to explain it. That being said, I got Kentucky because this is where they slip up. Give me Kentucky, so fuck y'all. Y'all doubt me. I don't even want to win this battle. I'm outie. Thank you again for listening to the Are We Recording podcast. It's good to have the gang back together, guys. I haven't seen all y'all nerds in a long time.
Yeah.
The 5 of us together like this. It's like family. It's like at the end of like an episode of... Never mind, I'm just going to shut up.
And just like family, I can't wait to go hang out by myself for the rest of the day.
Follow us on Twitter at AWR Podcast. Check out the blog, Are We Recording? blog.wordpress.com. A lot of new stuff up there. Gonna have some baseball previews coming up. Anything else I'm missing? Guys, before we sign off?
Still love you, Tim Miles. I'm not disappointed in you. I still love you.
Hey, good luck, Wisconsin, this weekend. Good luck.
Good luck. I'd like to see Wisconsin win.
I would too. Hey, I would too. All right.
Also, AL West preview is going to be up tomorrow.
Nailed it. AL West preview up tomorrow on the site. Be sure to check it out.
Spoiler alert, the A's win it.
Spoiler alert, the Astros beat only Astro gifts.
Yeah, okay. Spoiler alert, the Astros come in last place. All right. That's enough. We're out of here. Sayonara. Go Cubs. Go Badgers, too.